one book I remember which really transformed the whole thought about Hero Honda and a lot of stocks I picked up later on is the concept of value migration. It's a book written by Adrian Slowetsky, not very publicized, but wonderful book.
Sure.
In fact, if you go to Infosys library, the first book in the front is the value migration.
Okay.
Because what happens is in the businesses, values don't stay at one place. So values keep moving, and what you have to chase is where the next. What is important is not where the value is, where the value is going to be. So I mean, and it's very predictable in many places. Like when the privatization happened in banking sector, the values of the banking has to move from public sector banks to private sector banks. And that's where HDFC Bank came. So the guys who bought HDFC Bank, when it went public at $30, you know what has happened.
Yeah.
Same way, in 80s and early 90s, it was all the era of scooters. And the world was actually of motorcycle. So the entire market moved from scooters to motorcycles. From a 90% scooter market, it became 90% motorcycle market. So this migration is very important, and this value migration keeps happening across the world, across the businesses. Right now, huge value migration is on. So that we'll talk a little later. But as far as the Hero Honda is concerned, at that point of time, scooter market was ruled by our dear Bajaj, and it was moving from scooters to motorcycle. And this motorcycle company had already come up in 1984-85, but they're struggling. And the products were very much in demand. It was actually retailing in black for 4,000 rupees. And I could see the migration, and the size of the company was just about 1,000 crores. And Honda and Hero, both were the huge giants. Globally, India was the last large market where penetration was very low. At that point of time, probably 1 or 2% of motorcycle. So opportunity was literally unlimited. And combination of Hero and Honda couldn't have been matched by anybody. I mean, 60-70% market share for Honda globally.
Yeah.
So, and you were getting a 10-12 P multiple. Return on equities were for 30-35. So, I mean, it was all, and then in the next 6 years, it became 40 times for us.
Right.
So, what happens is, then next was the same value migration happened in the wire to wireless.
In telecom.
In telecom. And you see what happened in Bharti to, I mean, Bharti I bought at about a $1 billion kind of market cap, about 4,500 crores. And it went to about 250,000 crores in 3 years flat. 50 times in just about 24 or 30 months. So I think the power of value migration is massive. So far, value migration was much more local. Now we are looking at global value migration. The biggest one which is on right now is the software. From developed world to India. Now it's a $1 trillion software services market. We have gained 10% share in last 14 years. We were about 5 billion out of 500 billion. Now we are 100 billion out of a trillion. In next 15 years, when the software services market goes to 2 trillion, India could be 500 billion or maybe even a trillion. Who knows? So, you know, this value migration is probably to my mind, it is the biggest, and it can shape the future of the country itself. Forget about you as an investor.
Okay, 2 follow-up questions to that, Ramdev. One is that, you know, you've identified IT as the next area where you see value migration.
But it's already on.
Yeah, or it's underway right now. And in fact, that's linked to my question. It might seem like yesterday's story. What's tomorrow's story in value migration?
Yes.
Which sector, area, space, industry, technology do you see this take place in?
See, 2 sectors which are clearly happening right now is, I think we are halfway through in tech, where bulk of the money is made. I think Infosys has been about 3,000 times up between 92 and 2014 already. And still the story is not over. The best is still ahead of Indian software. But as the early stage, early multi-baggers out of less than $1 billion, that is over. I mean, these companies are $30-40 billion market cap.
Sure.
But there will be a lot of tech-oriented companies will come in this segment itself. Then second one, which is on very big, is the globalization of generics business in pharmaceuticals.
Globalization of?
Generics business.
Generics business. Okay.
A lot of people, they think that generics opportunity out of India is almost as big or bigger than that of IT opportunity. Because IT opportunity could be dated. I mean, 25, 30. Somewhere computers will become very smart and you may not need software services as much as you need today. But molecules are like, you know, so
pharma is the space where you see big value migration
that's why you see
here.
The youngest Sancheti has become so much rich and so fast and still growing at 40-50%. In fact, funny thing is, as the skill is increasing, his rate of growth is increasing. It doesn't happen like that.
When do you sort of assess that the value migration to this business technology sector is pretty much done. I just heard you say the bulk of the money has been made in IT, right? You still hold on to Hero Honda. I'm not asking you when you will sell, but how do you assess that thus far and no further?
Yeah.
This is the time for me to now move on to something else.
Yeah, so one is that how businesses are happening, what is the position. Now they have got global opportunity. You know, they are free from the old joint venture.
Hero Honda.
Yeah, they have an opportunity to become world's #1 themselves.
Right.
So whether that journey is going to be successful or not, so you keep assessing. Because for me, I bought it $30, I get 100 rupees dividend every year. I've got 1,200 rupees dividend itself. I can sell it for 3,000 bucks today. So it doesn't matter in the sense that the problem is not so much for the for me who bought it $30. It is for the problem is for the people who will buy it 3,200.
Sure.
So my mindset is very different on that.